Chelsea's longest-serving manager under the club's new owners has left by mutual consent. The fact that Mauricio Pochettino lasted only 325 days underlines what a basket case of a club it has become.
You might expect a manager to lose his job after 5 games without a win, but only Chelsea could lose theirs after 5 wins on the spin. When the supporters wrote an open letter to Chairman Todd Boehly and his sidekick Bedadeg Bali in March, they expressed fears that their beloved Chelsea was becoming a laughingstock on and off the pitch.
It is way beyond that now, with the departure of the manager who finally looked to be getting a tune out of a squad branded £1 billion bottle jobs just over 2 months ago as they crashed to defeat against Liverpool's youth team in the Carabao Cup final. In 8 days' time it will be exactly 2 years since the Clear Lake Capital Consortium rode into Stamford Bridge to rescue the club from possible liquidation.
Read more in FOOTBALLSPECIAL gig. Jose Mourinho, close to sealing new job after 4 months unemployed. Eurovision play our bracket challenge game for free ahead of this summer's Euros. Pochettino is the third full-time, permanent head coach to have tried and failed to work with the American-led group of venture capitalists who arrived in London preaching their motto of long-termism. Regardless of whether it was ultimately Pochettino's decision to go, or he was pushed by his superiors, there is clearly something fundamentally wrong at Chelsea.
Two sackings and a mutual consent in less than 24 months. First Thomas Tuchel and then Graham Potter. Most read in football key appointment Kieran McKenna feels he will replace Ten Hag with merry-go-round to follow boots to fill inside Foden's rise to fame from trophies to money. Nickname given to him Tough Luck, Everton could be saved by rival Premier League owner as takeover talks confirmed. Hats off, Luton release 14 players including long-serving star and ruthless squad. Cull best free bet sign-up offers for UK bookmakers. Pochettino's Chelsea record. Mauricio Pochettino had just started to turn Chelsea around.
An impressive run of end-of-season form saw the Blues leapfrog the likes of Manchester United and Newcastle to finish 6th in the Premier League, and earn a Europa League spot. But it wasn't enough to keep him in a job, as it was announced on Tuesday evening that the Argentine had left.
Here are all Pochettino's Stamford Bridge stats. Premier League 6th, FA Cup, semi-finals, lost to Man City. Carabao Cup, runners-up, lost to Liverpool. Total record, games 51 wins 26 draws 11 defeats 14 goals for 103 goals against 74 throw in one frustrated caretaker boss in Frank Lampard, and a rabbit in the headlights one match wonder in Bruno Salter, and that's 5 coaches that Clear Lake have ploughed through in next to no time. Thrown in Tom Glick, president of business who went after 16 months, and technical director Chris VL who left after 7.
Who could be Chelsea's next boss after Pochettino exit? It makes former owner, the so-called ruthless Russian Roman Abramovich, come across as a dream employer. And he sacked one boss not long after winning the double. There have been noises that all was not well in the Chelsea camp.
That a good end to the season might not be enough to make up for the barnstorming finish. If Chelsea have effectively sacked the manager who enjoyed the unequivocal backing of his players and was starting to see a huge upturn in performance and results, then that is sheer stupidity.
If, after 2 days of thrashing out the ifs and buts of an admittedly turbulent season, Pochettino decided enough was enough, that is way more worrying for Chelsea fans. They won't cry over his exit. They were uneasy about his long history with hated rivals Tottenham.
He himself insisted he would not kiss the badge to win favor with them. This may have been part of his downfall. As an experienced manager with a strong personality, perhaps he wasn't willing to kiss something else either to stay on the good side of Eghbali and sporting director Paul Winstanley.
Pochettino wasn't perfect. There have been dreadful results this season. Terrible injuries too, and with his reputation for hardcore training that may have cropped up in conversation. Chelsea finished the season on Sunday toasting a fifth successive Premier League victory.
It took them until December to reach that number. He himself admitted he feared the sack after crashing 4-2 at home to Wolves in February. There was the 5-0 surrender at Arsenal, a 1-0 embarrassment in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg at Championship Middlesbrough.
A 4-1 thumping at Liverpool. Boehly's record would make even Abramovich blush. We're back to square one, here we go again. Just when some positivity was building around the place and an optimistic eye was being cast to the future, Clearlake Capital go hurtling full pelt back to the drawing board, writes Sunsport's Tom Sheen.
Mauricio Pochettino leaving will make it 6 different managers in less than 2 years when next season rolls around, a record that would make Roman Abramovich blush. But while the oligarch was keeping Chelsea's HR department busy by regularly handing out P45s, he was also regularly delivering world-class players in the hope of delivering instant silverware.
There was no Vision 2030, talk of players as financial assets or ridiculous 8-year contracts that potentially hamstring the club. Hiring and firing worked under the previous regime because Chelsea had a spine of world-class talent that they were always looking to improve upon, not a group of players who looked light years away from the top teams in the land.
One thing is for sure, though. If Clearlake carry on down this road, they'll need a rebrand to Vision 2060. Click here to read Tom's damning verdict in full. Silence from the boardroom in the most desperate moments when he needed their support.
And Pochettino dropping thinly veiled threats that, "Maybe I am not happy," then claiming he was quoted out of context. The powers that be at Stamford Bridge no doubt pointed out that the start of the season was way below expectations given such an expensive assembly of players at the manager's disposal.
But when at times an entire team has been on the treatment table, Chelsea needed an ambulance driver more than a manager to get them through matches. It is hugely ironic that even Pochettino grew fed up with pleading for time, and to trust the process in every press conference and ended up enjoying so little of it himself.
Read more. Son STORIESHELPING hand 8 little known schemes that can save you up to £4,000 on energy bills. Tough time. Geordie Shore star Aaron Chalmers and ex-Talia share major update on baby son for Chelsea supporters glad to see the back of the man who in their view couldn't quite leave Spurs behind. This is an alarming trend. Three high-grade managers could not work with these guys, so just who can? Who could be the next Chelsea manager? Here are the 7 names in the running to replace Mauricio Pochettino after his shock exit from Chelsea.
Roberto De Zerbi. The Italian left Brighton at the end of the season after a year and a half in charge. He was linked with a host of top jobs earlier in the campaign, but a difficult run of results saw him fall out of contention for the likes of Liverpool.
De Zerbi's attacking, front foot style would be popular at Stamford Bridge. Kieran McKenna, the former Manchester United assistant, has led Ipswich to back-to-back promotions from League One to the Premier League. That has seen his stock shoot through the roof and he may be tempted to jump ship for a big job.
Enzo Maresca. Maresca was Pep Guardiola's assistant at Manchester City and has worked wonders at Leicester, settling the ship to send the Foxes back to the Premier League at the first attempt. Appointing a Pep disciple has turned Arsenal into title contenders, so it could work for Chelsea too.
Hansi Flick was one of football's most in-demand managers after winning the Champions League with Bayern Munich. But it all went wrong in his next role, becoming the first manager ever to be sacked by Germany.
Now he's ready to return and could be a smart move for the Blues. Sebastian Hoeneß. Chelsea fans may not have heard of him, but Hoeneß is Germany's next big thing. Hoeneß has transformed Stuttgart from relegation candidates to the second-best team in the Bundesliga, finishing above Bayern Munich.
Only invincible Bayer Leverkusen got in the way of a miracle. Michel Sanchez has worked wonders with Little Girona in Spain. The Minnows were right in the La Liga title race at Christmas before watching Real Madrid shoot into the distance.
But they ran illustrious Catalan neighbours Barcelona all the way for second and are guaranteed a spot on the Champions League. Reports in Spain say that has caught Chelsea's attention. Jose Mourinho, still adored by fans at Stamford Bridge, who never warmed to former Spurs boss Pochettino, Mourinho would be a popular pick.
Winner of 3 Premier League with the Blues across 2 topsy-turvy spells, could he be the man to take Chelsea back to the top?